I'm live. Hello, everybody. I'm just going to sit here and ponder this for a minute. And wait for some folks to come in. I do want to show you the progress on the nose, as we'll call her. Casing. I love it. I want some more of it. Isn't that the way it used to go? Just going to wait for some folks to come in. Hello. By the way, for everybody, I'm just being silly. This is a live, and it always takes folks a few minutes to get the notification and come in. So if you're watching this on the replay, you can skip right over it. Hey, Lynn. I'm going to put the link here if you feel like coming on. You just let me know. Well, it helps if I hit enter. We may not have anybody today except me and you, and that's fine. We can play. Trying to do the impossible. There it is. Mm-hmm. Oh, there you are. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
It might just be us today.
Well, let me what it'll be. I actually got up. Well, the dog got me up about regular time, even though I was taking the day off since about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Just
Well,
playing.
oh, good.
Yeah.
You deserve that.
I know Mom's
Being
got some laundry going, so she's probably gonna holler at me in a few. Too. She's hurt her back really bad. She's got bad sciatica right now, and it's about got her mom. And so she's.
No, I said woo. I said woo. You said.
Oh, I thought you said who.
No, I said woo.
Who. Yeah. She's not doing good with it, so I'm sure she'll be tottering down here and saying my washing machine stopped so I can put the stuff over in the dryer for her. Trying to keep her from bending and twisting and
Yeah. Yeah. Well, mine are still doing good. I think Mom's getting bored, but oh well.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Can't do anything about it.
No, just got to decide that, okay, we'll do it, get through it. There will be another day.
Oh,
This
that's a
is
good one. Oh, good. I got this.
what you got.
This is a process I go through when I get ready to work with something. See if you can see it.
Oh yeah, doing your picture.
Can you see the spiral?
Hang on just a second, Vicki. What, Mom?
Can I have you put those in the dryer?
It's washer stopped?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be there in just a second.
These are from the time of
And
Leonardo.
I'll switch them
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. And then, so your center of interest would be right here in this circle. And then this is,
Is that the golden mean?
yeah, a golden spiral.
Golden spiral, okay.
Yeah. And this one, why you're not showing? Well, all right, let me import that one again.
Okay.
Okay, right on. Yeah, right on.
Yeah, and go get her done. I'll mute.
All right. Hello. Those of you who are looking, I want to be real careful. That's where we're going today. I know y'all can't see that just real good. There you go. Showing me diagonal lines. It's showing me golden spiral. This is important because it shows the line going right beside her nose. Well, actually, the point of her lip, right beside her nose, right beside her eye, and on up. So those are just ways that you can keep your balance. Does that make sense? How did we ever do all this without electronics?
Yeah, I mean, I will say that to have the epidemic stuff going on,
Yeah.
it's a good time in technology life
Yeah.
for us.
Really? Okay, here we go. Try to turn it where you can see it.
Yeah, I can see.
This is your primary spot in this circle. And then this other one with the horizontal lines is harmonious triangles, I think it's called. But look where this line hits at the peak of her lip, the edge of her nose, edge of the eye, and the eyebrow. So it's just a way of planning the position on the paper.
For your composition?
Yeah. Yeah. And I did that on this one too. I thought about you last night because I was working on this and something was off because I had planned it. I mean, I knew where I wanted it, where I wanted her, but her head ended up way up here, a half inch from where it had been planned. It was correct. And if I moved my tracing, I'll show you this. Insider secrets. If I moved my tracing of it here,
Right.
the nose and eye were in. If I had it down here, this was in and this was in. So what happens, and this is John Singer Sargent said, always start your head about 3/4 of where you want it to end up because you'll enlarge it. Every time I started moving up a little bit, I added a little bit of height.
Ah,
So
that's good to know about yourself.
oh yeah, I mean it happens. But what I try to do is do as much as I can without this tracing, and I don't bring it in until later in the process, just because it's a fun game.
Right.
It will drive most people crazy, but it's a fun game. So then I had to come in here and totally repaint the eye. I mean, the eyeball was way up here. But you don't notice those things, and unless you know to look for them.
Well, no. And if you're focused on comparing each piece, it's easy to do the extension and the push it out, and
Well, I mean, it's just a millimeter, and then
Right.
you add another millimeter to that, and you're up to 3/8 of an inch off.
Yeah. Like
Like Randy said, it really doesn't matter, in the overall scheme of things, and it doesn't. But for this particular project, I wanted it to be that way.
Right.
Shoot. I think that's what my coffee is. My cholesterol medication. So I don't have corona.
You don't have the
Been anywhere.
whooping cough, huh?
I know.
My
I
aunt thinks her her grandson might have it.
Who?
He'd be my cousin's son. He's been running a fever, so I told her to keep me posted. But yeah, you just don't know. I've been trying to get in the habit of anything I bring in, I'm wiping down and letting it dry, and and
Well, if I get it, that's the only way, is something Randy brings in, because he's the only one going out.
Yep. And it's just insane.
Well, thank God for my studio.
Yeah.
Good grief. I don't guess anybody's going to come. I bet you the notification didn't go out yet. Did you get it?
Yeah. This is the first time I've gotten yours right up front. And usually, sorry, I'm making noise. I'm trying to put my paint back on my shelf. So I can keep working on this seahorse. But what was I saying? Hell if I know. Oh, studio and working, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. I mean, I've got everything. You know me. I've got a full store here.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Problem is, if I could find it.
I have a damn new little square box printer from somebody enabling me.
What have you got? Oh. Have you used it yet?
I just printed out a couple of things to see what it would do, but no, I don't have a project that I'm working on. I need to do some more collage backgrounds, but Rosemary and her monthly things have got me kind of hooked, and I'm like, oh, this might be kind of fun. And
yeah, and there you go.
I haven't had this much fun with a mixed media thing that I worked on today in a long time, and it's like
Rosemary is very good.
Yeah.
I'm checking my proportions here.
I love that. I love that lady.
This one?
She's just gorgeous.
Isn't she pretty? So I think I'm good.
Kind of the Betty Boop era, isn't she?
Yeah. That I use a lot of those from the 20s and 30s. This is the original. But I like my light coming from over here. So I just flipped her. You can flip them if you don't know them.
Yeah.
But if you flip, because two sides of the face are different. So if you flip someone you're doing a portrait of, it won't really look like them. But on something like this, it doesn't matter.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I just flipped her. And now let's see what I'm going to do here. How much do I have in here? I have, let's say 4.5. Now I've got this up on my screen and I'm measuring it 5. Whoops. 5 by 6, something like that. I'm gonna draw a diagonal line just for placement. There's a yellow one that ought to show up. I'm going to pretend. So there's my diagonal, and I think that's all I need. I think I can do everything I need to do from that. So we've got that much width, that much. Okay, that's good. Because I know I want to stay with it. My thought process. I know I want to stay within this little area right here so you can see what's going on.
What's that layer you've got down, that white?
This is just a piece of chiffon.
Oh.
Put down with matte medium, and it toned down what is underneath it, the burlap, and it gave me a smoother surface for one thing, but it also toned down the bright vibrancy of the stamp pads. So I did that here. There's a piece of it under here. You can't see that.
Under that, on the right side?
Yeah, right down here.
Uh-huh. Okay, I see it.
And nope, there's not any under that one. I love this book. I'm having fun with it. So we're going to be working over here. And I've mixed up some clear gesso, half clear gesso and half regular gesso with a little bit of water. Because what I want to do is kill the blue as much as I can, because what happens if there's anything that picks up, it'll bleed back through all my layers, and I don't feel like fighting it.
Right.
Where'd my thing go? I mean, that means 7, 8 layers on a skin tone, and I don't really want to do that. No, it didn't really pick up. But you still have to cover the blue if you're, but you know, on the other, oh, don't quit. Just quit. I talk to myself all the time. Okay, so if I come in, I'm measuring on this. Here, let me do this. Let me pull it down. I've got my diagonal line. So if I do all my measuring from this diagonal line, I'll end up close.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is, well, Goose, you got to measure from, oh, you got it. Never mind. We'll measure from that to the edge, from the crossbar to the edge is about like that. Now, her eye, let me make another mark. Her eyeball is on this plane right here. So if I measure from the right across her eyebrow, about like that, that should be the edge of her hat over here. So if that's the case, then her eyeball will be right here. You with me?
I'm with you.
Fun, fun, fun. And then she's not on the same plane because her eyes are tilted slightly. So that would mean this eye was probably right here. So that line this eye will go like that as well.
I have tried to use this type of method of placement, and I start out with just a very basic marks, like kind of what you're doing here, but even just not even that precise. And then I just eyeball it. I don't know. That's the only way I can, especially if I'm working on a figure or a face. I just am constantly comparing this part to the overall part and back again. And it fascinates me watching you do this.
Well, okay, but as you see from the picture that I just showed you, the painting, once you start putting paint on it, all bets are off.
Right.
So
right.
It's really just an attempt to get familiar with your subject. So I'm checking now the angle of the eyes just with my pencil. So I drew that line across for the eyes.
Uh-huh.
And double check. So it's right in here on this one. And then I measure from pupil to pupil. It's not quite right. So this one is over here a little more because it's not, this part of the eye is not right on that diagonal. So pupil to pupil. And it's not foolproof, you know.
Unless you're tracing something, you know.
Yeah, and I know lots of professional portrait painters who don't want you to know that they do that.
That's the only way those dogs that I painted. Well, not Rufus, not the first one that I did and I brought down to your house, but the one I did for that I gave to the pet shelter, and the one that I gave to Sylvia. Those two I traced to get my outline and get my perspective on all of it. But Rufus, I just eyeballed him and he came out and shocked myself.
I think it's good to know how to do these things even if you don't use them.
Yep. I would agree. Because at some point you're still going to reference that in your mind. Even if you're not doing it physically, you're still going through the motions. Does that make sense?
Yep. There's the eye. I don't paint I don't draw dark lines. I don't do by line. I don't draw a line drawing. I get my major components and measure where the nose is, and then I go with shapes. So I'll go with this shape right here of her nose.
Uh-huh.
Once I get my eyes where they're supposed to be, and then I'll measure all this and I'll just do that shape. And this shape right here. So basically I do darks and lights and then come back in and do the medium dark and the medium light. Yeah, that's the plan. Format usually does it.
If I would take the time to get back into doing some painting, true painting, and then the notion of the shapes, which is the class I took where I did Rufus with Alicia, she's just like, just look at the big shapes. Just look at them. And that's what you do. And you're surprised when you're done because it looks good, you know?
But that's hard to do.
It is.
I mean, it takes a while to train your eye
To see
to
the shape.
know exactly what she's talking about.
Yep.
And you don't get it the first time. I'm sorry. You just don't.
Yeah. I liken it to you train your eye, and with Randy doing all of his morel mushroom hunting, as I'm green with envy. But with morels, depending on if you're looking for blacks or you're looking for the blondes or the little grays, or if you're looking at the late bloomer ones that are huge, it's all about patterns and color and shape. And once you get that eye focused on that morel pattern and shape, then you start picking them out. And I think it's the same thing with this process of training to see beyond what your brain is telling you you're looking at.
Yeah. So that you're not looking at a woman's head, you're just putting the shapes together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, but it did take me a long time to get there.
If I would ever just stay consistent, I think I'd probably be about there because I get it and then I'd stay away from it for 2 or 3 years. And then it's just like,
Then you kind of start all over.
yeah.
And I'm measuring off this center line. Once you do it again without dropping from between the eyes to find her chin is right there. Not the shape or anything. I'm just getting the outer outer line, so then I can decide about the gesso.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's close. What else do I want? Okay, her neck is lined up with the outer edge of her eye. And there's just a bunch of nebulous stuff down there. And this one is just about in what I can see. It's about that wide, which is perfect. And this comes down. So I could do just this area right here. I've got that part. Ah, don't move. Shoot. These. And then the top of her. Okay, what are you doing? Okay, that's the inner line. So that's more curved. And then the upper line. And this is another thing interesting about this golden spiral. Everything should lead you to here. And so look at how the edge of that spiral meets where the cuff of her hat ends.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can really tell you how to do it. It just happened on this one. So it's close enough for me. That's my amazement. That's my amazement for the day.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go check and make sure she's not bending over getting stuff out of the dryer because she thinks it's dry.
Okay.
I'll be
just
back.
did.
I know, but she checks every little bit to feel and takes them out as they go instead of just letting them go.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
See you in a minute. Perfect. Alrighty. Now I'm going to Now that was a Stabilo all pencil. So it's going to liquefy. Let me check my, want to be close. Okay. Now I'm doing this to counteract part of the blue. And I'm going to skip, kind of leave the lines. You back?
I'm back.
All right, I'm doing this and I'm kind of going to leave my drawing lines showing. And this is a Stabilo all, so it's going to, yeah, it's going to, but I don't care because it's yellow, so it won't really matter.
Right.
For skin tones and all that. And there you go. So like I said, cover those lines. There's the bottom of her nose. She's looking down, which makes her nose longer than it really would be in the perfect face.
Perspective.
Yep.
Foreshortening is probably when I was taking art in college, and that would just eat my lunch trying to get a leg foreshortened to make it look right. And yeah, that perspective and then trying to do foreshortening, it just like, yeah, I lucked into it.
The secret to that is value and temperature. So it's not enough to have your drawing correct. You got to have your temperature and darkness, lightness correct, or you'll never get it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave this kind of nebulous over there. I think I'm going to quit right there. I think that's good.
Are you doing oils or acrylic?
I think I'm going to do the casein. I'm having a big time with that.
With the what?
The casein. That's what, it's a milk-based paint. This is it. It's similar to gouache in the way that it looks, but it's completely flat and completely opaque. Well, completely opaque if you don't thin it too much. But it's what used to be painted on all the frescoes in Europe, like the Sistine Chapel. They would put the plaster up, and when it was set, then the artist would either paint into the damp plaster, which would absorb the paint. And once it cured, it's very, very permanent. So this was around, they've dated it back to the cave dwellings. So it's been around a while. But it's a milk protein similar to the furniture colors that were on furniture in the 20s. So, that stuff lasted forever.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. There, I think I got it. By Jove. God, I hate to waste good gesso. And what I can also do is come in here with a wet wipe.
Pull your marks down a bit.
No, I'm just kind of pulling the the density of the gesso down a little bit.
Okay.
And now let's see what I don't have that. Oh, here's another one with that chiffon. And I did this one with colored pencil. These red ones. Ooh, boy, there's a good one for it. A good candidate.
Good candidate for your technique.
No, for toning it down with this.
Chiffon. Yeah.
No, this is just on paper. This is her mixed media paper.
Okay.
So I'm just going to tone it down with gesso, and it will bleed through because those colors are not light fast.
Right.
Just make me a painting spot. And I don't mind if they blend a little because, I mean, if they pop through a little, because I just want to soften those colors. This is the Dina Wakley one where there's burlap and canvas. And
I guess
craft
I haven't really looked at that book. That sounds pretty cool, though.
the papers aren't the best quality, but for what I'm using it for, it's fine because I'm just using it for practice stuff. The new book that she has out, instead of canvas, I think it's got denim. Or instead of burlap, I think it's got denim. Which would
Now,
be
that
cool.
I think I've seen advertised, I think.
Yeah, this is the old one. I've had it for a couple of years. Of course, everything I have, I've had for a couple of years.
And you just go shopping in your own stash.
That's right. And I look at it and go, I've saved that long enough.
Time.
And you don't want to use it when it's new, for Christ's sake.
Hell no.
So are you working on something?
I am working on,
That rosary thing.
yeah, her funky fish thing. And the one that I started on,
Hi, Gail.
well, hey, Gail.
There is life out there in the universe. Did you get your notification in good timing? I didn't get mine. I'm just going to skip this page because it's got that white stencil on it. And I'm going to come over here and do the same thing, use up this gesso. Yeah, I would like to finish one of these sketchbooks that I start. Ooh, look at that canvas soak up that gesso.
Gail, have you got your new puppy yet?
I was wondering because I didn't get mine timely. Lynn did. She got hers right off the bat. They're all experiencing heightened traffic because everybody's home. In fact, StreamYard has a message
Oh, really?
telling you that they've been having issues. I don't think the issues with StreamYard are StreamYards. I think they're YouTube's. But that's my.
They're just broadband width for however many, people that are just absolutely flooding the thing.
My theory, being a telecommunications expert that I am, You know I'm joking.
I know.
Um,
It's called sarcasm.
no, I'm Miss Know-It-All, remember?
Oh, well, of course.
Okay. Wipe out my little bowl. Dollar Tree. StreamYard is much more efficient and responsive doing a YouTube video. I'm echoing.
I'm not hearing an echo.
Okay. Because anytime you get on and there's a lag, you just stay on and StreamYard picks the stream back up, the same stream. Where if you're on YouTube and it does that, you have to start a completely new stream. Yeah, that's going to help. Back to where we started. So I think that StreamYard is probably paying big bucks for a dedicated pipe to YouTube. That's what I
Could be. Gail, well, that's something to look forward to. You can get to go in a couple of weeks to get your pup. I was going to holler at you earlier today, Vicki, to see if you wanted to have a online play, but I just got my nose stuck in this, and I was like, next thing I know, you're popping up, and I'm like, oh, well, hell.
every Tuesday and Thursday. That's what I try to do. Okay, here's my casein palette. I wonder where my other brush is. Nope. What did you do with it?
Probably sitting over there by my brush.
It's probably sitting in the floor. Crap.
Well, that'd be nice, Gail, if you don't have to go get him.
What kind are you getting? Is it Shih Tzu's your favorite? Found it.
Good.
It had fallen between two drawers that I have here. Okay.
Surely it wouldn't fall anywhere in your room.
Got to find something so that we can all see this. There, that works. Bloody nose. Well, you know, when you fall in love with a breed, it's kind of hard to think about another one, a different one. We're on our 5th miniature schnauzer. Yes, that will take paint better with just that little bit of gesso. Okay, so I need to kind of mix up a darker color, ultramarine and cad red. I think it's cad red. These colors are different than
What you're used to.
like the Naples yellow is this. Yeah, and Naples yellow that I've ever seen has been
More mustard.
color. This
Yeah.
is, and it doesn't mix real well, so I'm not sure what they've got in it, but it doesn't matter. in her eyeball. And doot, doot. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Aggie. I think that'll work. Yeah, I've got that a little too big. So we'll just do that, and then this one will be here.
Well, exactly, Gail. You don't want the king of the household to be upset too much getting a new one coming in.
You know, we had 0 problems
With Minnie.
with this, with
Oh, Cappy?
Minnie or with Cappy. I mean, they took to Cappy just like,
He was supposed to be there.
yep. And they're so funny. Now, BJ was the star, but he was so upset about his daddy dying that I said, Randy, you're going to have, that was when Betsy was having her 3rd baby.
Yeah.
And I'm still not happy with that. And if you're not happy now, you definitely won't be later. Bring that out a little bit. She was she was having number 5. And I said, you're going to have to take him with you because he'll die here. I mean, if you leave and,
Yeah.
you know, come on. I want that now. Where's my diagonal? There it is. It's the only problem with some of these is that these apps, they're a little bit hard to control as far as locking them down. So I know that it's not perfect where I started, but it'll work because I did the eyes, and then now I can base everything off those eyes rather than going back here. This plan was only to help me put the eyes where I wanted them to be. Follow?
Yep.
And then under the nose to the bottom of the mouth, it's right there.
Well, Gail, I bet if you give him time, he'll get used to the new pup. That'll be good. Once he gets used to having a youngster around, then he'll probably be glad for the company.
BJ was so glad I think he was glad to have the pressure off as far as having to be the only one.
Uh-huh.
Because he just let Minnie take over and hasn't ever been sad about it.
Took the pressure off him.
Yep. And Minnie's still the alpha. But they are funny together.
I tell you, this one here, she just keeps us in stitches most of the time. They're just funny.
Yeah, it's good for your mama to have her. Yeah, I'm doing that shape thing right here.
Yeah.
And it's pretty straight. I'm right on target, thank God. My brows. Okay. Now do a brow. And that one. Back a little bit. And that one just too. So close enough. So you don't need to outline the eye because you've got all the shading and everything underneath it.
Makes sense.
And if
Hey,
you're doing,
Jilly. We got Jilly in the house.
hey, Jilly, it depends on what you're painting. If you're doing an illustration, then yeah, you pretty much do outlines. But if you're doing something painterly, you don't do outlines.
Say that again.
Illustration work, like the old Saturday Evening Post covers and
Right.
all that back in the 50s.
Yeah.
Actually, earlier than that. Those were illustrations, and illustration work is different than paintings. Even Norman Rockwell did illustration work. So it's more of a drawing thing. Jane Davenport does illustration style,
Okay.
mostly. Just that's part of your education there. How about that?
Good piece of education.
And people kind of get into arguments over that, and they don't realize that they're both right. It doesn't matter. I've never done illustration work to speak of. I've done some. I don't want this dark to take over my next colors. I just want it to kind of be there.
Be there, be square.
Julie, I have, this is just a cheapo chiffon. I got like a chiffon curtain and I glued it down that medium. And then when I did my drawing a little while ago, I came in with half clear and half regular gesso just to kill some of the blue. And the helmet, the hat comes up here. And I used a Stabilo all to do my composition work. And I'm just jumping around. And then her lower lip isn't that deep. All right, what'd you do? It's her whole lip, goose. I'm just using a wet wipe. It's great. I'm using Casein. Been working with it for the last little bit. Make sure the mouth is tilted. The other tendency that people have when they're doing a face, we had a demo on my painting I'm doing of the girl the other day. Let me show you. This always happens. John Singer Sargent said, always make your head smaller than life size because you're going to enlarge them as you go. I planned this little head to match one of Leonardo's. Yeah, we're on a first name basis. And I was fine down here, but I kept noticing that the top of my head was further than I had planned. And this was on target. My drawing was, I was in drawing. But as I went up, things shifted just a millimeter or so until they got to about 3/8 of an inch. So I had to repaint this whole section because the eye was way up here. And I knew there was something wrong with it, but I just couldn't place it. So at that point, what I do is a tracing on a piece of plastic or something to show me just where the features are. A lot of people do this to begin with, and I always try to challenge myself in the beginning. And it's perfectly okay to trace. It's perfectly okay to project or whatever. If you're not in the mood to draw, you want to hurry up and get to painting, then do that. I mean, it's perfectly okay. And like I told Lynn, I know a lot of professional portrait painters in the big buck range who project their drawings because they don't need to prove to themselves they can draw. They already know how to do that. So you just get to the painting quicker. And you'll read in the fine art stuff, you'll read all kinds of opinions about, oh, it's not a good thing. Yeah. Whatever gets you to painting. And I check every time I do something to make sure that I'm not doing that, but it doesn't really matter that I was off a little bit on that one, except that my purpose was not for that. I mean, nobody would have ever noticed that she was a little bit high or a little bit larger. This is just coming right along. Gail, he did oils too. But most of his stuff for the Saturday Evening Post was illustration. Our museum here, Crystal Bridges, had an exhibition of all the post covers that he had done. It was fascinating. Illustration work is really cool, I think. Whoops, got it too low. It's right here. Everything I'm balancing off what I've already drawn. Can y'all still hear me? Yeah, you can. I can see you. Okay, so that is off. This one should be down a little more. Okay, look how cute she is. And then she has perfect. But every time you make a mark, you run the risk of getting out of drawing, and it's just, oh, the other thing I was going to tell you, if you have something that's slanted like this, Lynn,
Yeah.
you'll start out with the eyes and they'll be perfect. And you get down to the nose and it's tilted just a little bit. And you get down to the mouth, it's straight.
Because your brain's trying to put it straight ahead.
Your eyes try to straighten everything up. And if you'll start looking at things that people draw, you'll see that it'll start becoming obvious. And it's not being critical. A lot of people think it is, but if you don't know where the mistakes are, you can't fix them. Or if you don't know where the mistakes are and you want yours to be better or, more accurate or whatnot,
Yeah.
then you have to know those things. You have to know why is that not looking just perfect?
I can't sing with a flip, can't carry a tune, but I can tell if someone's off key. And it's the same way if I look at somebody's art, I can see where it just has a small disconnect or it's got that issue like you were talking about. And I can pick that out and then I can see it in my own stuff, but then I can't get it fixed. It's like I know it's not right, but I can't just get past whatever it is that's got me hung up.
I think that comes with experience, and knowing what it is half the battle.
Yeah, I'd say you're very true there.
If you don't know what it is, you're sure not going to be able to figure it out. Look at that little face. Whew. Okay, now check the width. Right on target. The width across the mouth. Pretty much on target. Okay, the mouth lines up with the edge of the eyeball, which I've got off. Which means I think that this eyeball is just too big. So now that should be a little bit more over here. And then that will put that right at the edge of the eye. And then over here, it lines up with the corner. So that one's about right. And that eyeball's too big too. If you're drawing manga or, crazy illustrations, like, everything's out of proportion. Like the fun illustrations of, that looks too short. It is just a hair.
Oh, Jilly, that's funny. She thought I was Gail. She thought Gail was online, and Gail says, "I don't have a microphone."
You don't? Gee,
Oh, I tell you.
we're a funny bunch. That's like my mom was talking to Randy the other night. She said, I just can't find my phone anywhere. And he said, Grace, what are you talking to me on? You
I've
find
done that. Oh,
I see this could real easily be an illustration because I mean this could be an illustration is what I'm trying to say. Because her mouth is a little bit smaller due to the way her head's tilted and her eyes are bigger, a little more plaintive looking. So I could finish this out as an illustration, but what I'll do is take it to where I like to be, and that's into the realism. I can't help myself.
you've gotten really good though this past year about loosening your stuff up.
Trying.
You have done really good with playing for fun and not perfection.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's why at the first of the year I signed up for Yona Biagioni's class. I just love to say her name. Because she's very loose with her drawings or paintings.
Yeah.
And I haven't done anything for a couple of months. I need to get back on it. But that's the trouble with online classes because you know you've got all the time in the world.
Oh yeah. I got mine sitting there staring at me and saying, "You idiot! You paid for them. Get on there and do them." Daddy's home.
I don't know. He went fishing.
Oh well. If the fish are biting, then he probably won't be home for a while.
That's right. That's right. We know how that goes. Cover up that little yellow line. Now check the width. See, even the curve of her head. Okay, about like that. About like that. Curve of her head is, her neck is an illustration type style. I haven't caught a rosemary stream in a while.
I either catch them or I'm snoozing away.
Well, late at night, I'm usually trying to get sleepy enough to go to bed.
She was wound up last night.
Yeah, I said, this sucks. We waited until it got to be daylight savings time was over so that I could drive without. Let me go back to this color one.
Not have to drive in the dark.
Yeah, and then we get quarantined. This almost looks like a 60s hairdo. Now, if I carry this further as What are you thinking? If I finish this out to a perfect grayscale before I do any color on top of it, that is a grisaille.
A what?
Grisaille, Grisaille. And that was what the old masters used. My nose is just a little bit high to conserve expensive paints, because the reds and the blues were expensive, and the earth tones weren't. So they would do an entire painting in the earth tones. Let me check this.
That's what your buddy Leonardo told you, right?
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't been working today, so I haven't had an outlet for my sarcasm.
So anyway, you paint it all in gray tones, and all the values are there, and you really don't want to cover it up because it looks so perfect. Yeah, that's better. And if you do it in green, it's called verdicai. I'm not pronouncing those right at all, but it's Italian for green. And I generally like doing a green one because it's the opposite of red, and your skin tones are red, so that kind of helps
Balance.
Yeah, balance out the. Okay, I think I can live with that. Yeah, she looks not quite so strange. Check the eye ends, the width right here ends. I mean, it's even with the black part of the eye. So you can always measure that, and it'll be the same on both if you have, well, not when it's like that. We're going to measure it to the edge of the lip and that part. So we're real close over here. Bring that down a little bit. It's always that way unless it's not. Okay. But paint an entire painting, and then what they do, because you've got that beautiful grayscale, it looks like a halftone.
Yeah. That'd be, yeah, gorgeous.
And they're in oil, so they'll come back then with thin layers of oil that you can see through. So you may have 10 layers on top of that gray one, and each one is transparent and builds on the other. So in other words, if you want a flesh tone, you may have a layer of real thin green, a layer of yellow, a layer of red, but they're not opaque. So you can utilize this grayscale to develop your painting. And I have not done that. I mean, I've done the grayscale, but not to the extent that I do the transparent colors. That's on my list of things. I have a big list. I don't have either one of those correct. They come right to the bottom of the nose. Alrighty. Check again. Measurements are good. See, since I moved that mouth or the nose up a little bit, that put this chin back where. So I thought it was the chin that was too short, but that wasn't what was wrong. That's why you don't let anybody critique your art, because they'll come in and say, "Oh, well, the nose is too long." No, it's not. It's because her head is tilted. And what's wrong might be something completely different. And if you fix what your volunteer critique says, you're still going to have a problem because it's not what was wrong. Does that make sense?
Gail said she's done 2 of the painting acrylic style in the grisaille, however you said it, method.
Did you do the transparent layers on top? I've done it all the way through, just not the transparent layers. I tend to go off into. I tend to go into the opaque colors. Let's see my palette. That's my face. That's my palette for the last 3 weeks. Yeah, what are you going to do? Okay. You're going to do that. You're going to do that. Yeah. And a little bit. Your eyes are never white. So always come in with a bluish or a flesh tone. Unless you're doing illustrations. And if you're doing illustrations, these kind of little tips don't count.
Gail said she did the grayscale and then colored washes over the top.
Cool.
And the first one was a raw egg, broken shell on a plate and a whisk, and the second was a white rose.
I think I may have seen those. Now look what happened just there. That eye has straightened completely up. See it? It's supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
Huh?
I say, yeah.
Doesn't take much if you see it. And you pay attention to the shape of the lower eye. Because it's bigger right in here. And then double check, see that you didn't paint it too big. So I'm on target there. And then this one comes down just a little. I love doing this.
I should have taken a picture before I started gluing my seaweed,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
The eyeballs are off, but I'm not worried about that right now. And speaking of pictures, I need to do the same.
Yeah, I'm debating whether to rip my seaweed off and take a picture and then put it back on because I'm not 100% happy with what I got done.
I just take mine with my phone.
Yeah, that's what I do. Let's see if
Who
I
else
can
is here? Hey, Sticky.
see if I can get this
Sticky
stuff.
came to see Vicki. How about that? Thank you. She's got a funny head position, that's for sure. I'm working with casein, which is an ancient milk-based paint. See how that white sunk in right there? I'm painting fairly thin. And I just mix up what I need as I go along.
Is it come in tubes or is it
Yeah, it comes in tubes, and Jack Richardson is the old Shiva brand. And I'm doing it because they sent me an entire assortment of product if I would pay $50 to enter a competition they were fixing to have on casing.
cool?
So I did, and then the virus made everything be put on hold.
That's the way it goes.
So, yeah, I've been having so much fun with it that I just decided to go ahead and do some things with it so I'd be ready. That's what the other painting is for. But it is really a fun medium. Kind of like gouache, but it doesn't come up as easy when you come back to add layers.
Yeah.
And gouache is never permanent, and this is. Be careful now. Ding dong. It doesn't take much. Okay, back to the. I don't use blue to make my value changes at the form. I use green. And again, that's because the green and red neutralize each other, and it makes the form turn. And if you, somebody, y'all asked me about the tubes. You can buy the casein medium, or it's called emulsion. And several companies have this. So theoretically, you could make your own paint if you had pigment powders. And I did make this green with some pigment powder I had, and I made a yellow ochre. So I just made a little a little pile of it. I've used all of the ochre. I could come back and make some more, I bet. Come on, get darker. Yeah, we're starting to get darker.
Oh, I just saw your text message, Vicki.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
well, big voice mod. Like, yeah. Get my camera so I can take a picture of my progress. To go out in a little bit and put some pots over the flowers and the sheet over the ones on the deck.
is it supposed to freeze?
Yep. And Mom was saying that it's supposed to have freezing 4 nights next week. But
Good.
yeah, so it's
I like winter, especially since we're all locked in.
like okay, lovely.
Now, let's go ahead and just work on the shadow shapes. Talking to myself. Got a good muddy color built up here.
Okay. I'll start seaweed again. Well,
You know,
you've been making really good progress.
just doing this grayish color so I can start putting some pretty color on. And soften your edges. You can always make a hard edge, but it's not so easy to get rid of not that easy to get rid of one, I should say. The hard edge. Not so much with this, because you can rework it. She's coming along. Give her a Vicki eyes. Maybe. These colors aren't mixing as good as what I'm used to, which is fine. You got to get you just got to get used to. I'll get it out in a minute. Woo! Look at her now. Well, that's a boo.
Studio ABC. Miss Linda, how are you, Miss Linda?
Hey, girlfriend. You got something you want to show, Linda? I can make your screen come alive.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I mean, I like what I've got going, but right now I'm fussing too much, and I took all my seaweed off, and now I'm working on putting it back on, and it's tedious. I didn't like what I did the first time, and so now I'm just trying to lay it on there before I glue it again. Yeah, Lynn Wessel here, Lynn McIntosh. It is Macintosh, right? Linda Ann.
Linda Ann. See, everybody's off work, so we're all getting a catch-up time. Except Linda's got to start doing classes again. Trying to get them. You know what? I don't think I need those anymore.
Linda, are you having to teach with online with your kids? Gail, Linda, Ann, and myself, and we would go over to Vicky's about once a month, twice a month, and we'd go play. There was good days.
Yeah.
I already like that better than I did the first round I did. I'm glad I ripped this sucker off.
Mm-hmm. I heard that.
Diet Coke, caffeine free.
It's rotting your brain.
Oh, rot my brain and my joints and everything else.
It's an interesting skin tone on her. It could be, of course, doctored. Although this is from way back then, so maybe somebody doctored it when they took it from black and white. Who knows?
Jilly said her brain's rotted already.
Her what sprouted?
Her brain rotted already. She said she'd like to go see Rosemary's cottage. It's pretty cool. I was appreciative that Vicki took me down there, invited me down there on a trip she went down on. What do you got? You got something you're not supposed to? Yes. Hey, you don't even try to take that back. No.
Bless her heart.
Yeah, bless her heart. If there's anything on the floor, she's going to find it and chew on it. Aren't you? No, there's not room up here on my lap right now.
Yeah, go find Grandma.
Yeah, well, she can't do a whole lot with it right now, unfortunately.
Ooh, this is a strange pose, and you just moved it. My, what a long nose you have.
Linda's asking and I don't think so. Linda, are you talking about an art supply in Rogers? This Rosemary's down in Fort Smith. What was the name of the gal that owned where you and I met, Vicki? The gal that owned
Canvas Corp.
Yeah. What was her name?
Chris.
Chris, that's right. Yeah, Linda, that's right. I think that's who you were thinking of was Canvas Corp. Vicki, did you know Rosemary back in the day when we were all getting together at your house?
Probably did. But I don't think at that time I had gone down there. It's a fun time. If it looks like I keep going back over the same areas, I do. Because this is not an optimal surface.
Look at that snot running down her nose. Oh, I know. I'm not a good peanut gallery observer, voice mod person. Sorry. Gotta have some humor, Vicki. I can't stand it. Oh.
Doesn't bother me. Whew, man, those eyes are still off. And I know where it is. Right here. See how that light blue just completely faded? Because the surface just sucked it up.
I would have thought the gesso would have helped.
It probably would have if I'd have put a thicker coat on. And I'm still learning this medium too, so. Ooh, see, there's white. I hope my eyes don't look like that. Still fighting this doggone nose. Okay, so now I got to figure out which eye is correct. And I think it's this one. So that puts this right here. Okay. Now this eye comes down.
Linda, the book that she's using is a Dina Wakley book that's got multiple surface styles in it. So burlap is one of the coverings in the pages. And then she put chiffon over the top of that. She put some paint down and then chiffon and then some gesso.
I mean, you know, it's not like I've mastered real canvas or anything. I just like a challenge.
Yeah, the learning curve, Linda, on the new processes right now is pretty interesting. We were told we were getting a new video message chat kind of thing for work. And they mentioned it on Friday and said, well, you'll be getting an email. Well, come Monday, we were dumped right into it. and all of us had to try and figure out what in the world we were doing with it and how to get contractors to be able to talk to us, and it's still not optimum yet.
I want to do egg tempura too. No. Wait. Just coming here. Just a hair. Just a hair.
Linda's saying that she's pushed technology in the classroom, and she said it was the only time that they were allowed to get out their phones. Hey, Gilly says that gal's got the skinniest chin she's ever seen.
I know. Like
Not Gilly, Jilly. Sorry.
good help's hard to find.
I know.
All right, those are better.
That's better. My stuff better, not your stuff better.
Whew. Better. Let me spray this. I gotta take a little break. Alrighty, let me see who's talking. Yeah, she's got her head tilted down, which is emphasizing the length of her nose, which I'm having a fit with. But at least the eyes are better. Better, better. I've got a yucky color here. I never used phthalo blue or green, but it was in this set, so. And sometimes it helps get the catch light in. Y'all working on anything fun? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. All right, they're better. All right, now let's, before you poop out completely, let's get this darn nose. It ends right there. The photograph is not giving me enough value to do this correctly. And then we have a little curvy thing right there, and a little nostril thingy right there. Now, measure again.
Gail's not doing anything at the moment, and Linda Ann is getting her studio area back in order so she can do YouTube again.
Oh, whoa. Mm-hmm. Kind of work the whole. What? kind of work the whole thing at the same time. And I've got it too wide. Okay, so. We finished Ozark last night. I sure was sorry to see that one end.
What show you're watching?
Ozark,
Oh, I've
filmed
seen.
in Branson.
Yeah, I've seen. I've not watched it, but I've seen, you know, the trailers and stuff for it.
Better.
Bye, Gail. She's
Hi,
going.
Gail.
Gotta go do supper.
Interesting color palette I've got going on here. If I had to remix any of these colors, I wouldn't be able to do it. Ooh, that ain't it. There we go. Now you get it a little bit dark. And his nose comes down. I'm talking to myself. Need that darker. Come on now. Let me get back up here into that. I bet you're glad you got all your moving office stuff done when you did. There it is. Anybody left? We run them all away?
No, we still have Jilly and we have Linda Ann. And I haven't seen anything from Sticky. sticky art
Oh,
for a while.
and Joycey didn't come on today.
Yeah, I haven't seen Joycey.
I think everybody's getting a lot of video time in.
Yeah. I know Jersey, she popped on this morning and said that she was going to be taking a 1 day a week unplugging day.
Well, she's been on a lot, so
Yeah.
that happens.
Said she's going to just enjoy spending the time with her son while she's got the opportunity with school out.
I'm not catching anybody anymore that I've been painting.
You haven't what?
Been catching anybody anymore since I've been painting.
Painting so much.
Yeah. You can't do both.
I usually put on a watch list when I lay down, and half the time I fall asleep before I get very far in it. Joycey's here.
Hey, Joycey.
She was working on her new exercises.
You are so dedicated, girl. It is time to do some lips.
I horribly fail. Don't touch your face. I have allergies and my skin just will itch or my nose will itch, and it's like, good thing I'm not going somewhere where I'm touching anything else.
Are you not doing any office stuff?
Yeah, I mean at home, but no, I'm not going to the office at all. Now, I'm doing the pick up the groceries from the parking lot this Sunday, and we've ordered some stuff for our work at home things, and we're able to get some hand sanitizer and some disinfectant wipes for your workstation. And then I was able to order another headset for my computer, my work computer. I bought one to go with my personal cell phone when I started working at home, but I haven't seen it, and I don't know if they shipped it to the office or if they decided, since I already had one at the office, that I didn't need another one at home. So I don't know, but I figured I'd maybe go, because the one grocery store I'm going to pick up groceries at is just a mile from the office. So on a Sunday, nobody will be there. So I'm going to swing in and see if any of the stuff that we've ordered has come in and pick it up.
You mean people are still going in and working there?
We're an essential service, so they have to. And the technicians out in the field have been given a little bit of leeway that if there's and if it's something that they're trying to get, most everything so the technician can work with them or somebody can work with them over the phone and not go in the house, and not have to, like I say, go in. But the company, I will say, has been really good to let the technicians know that your safety is paramount and you won't get in trouble if you feel it you know, that somebody's coughing and hacking and they want you to come in their house and, you know, fix something, that they won't, you know, they have the prerogative to say, no, I'm sorry, but I can't do that. So and they've got them on, they started all the people that have to go out in the field and work, they started them with staggered start times. So there's not more than, I think, 2 in the office at the same time. And but yeah, I just figured I'd go by and see if anything's been dropped off there that I need to pick up. So
Be sure and put your max on.
yeah, I made myself a mask, made masks for my aunt and uncle. Mom doesn't need one because she doesn't go anywhere. And keep my hand sanitizer, and just my hands are so dry from doing that stuff, you know, that it's crazy.
I think I've just about used all of the burlap in this book. I hope.
You're getting tired of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jilly, it is good that they did let the technicians make some decisions of their own about the field work. So Vicki, you're used to being a homebody anyway.
Oh, yeah. I worked my whole career from home.
Um,
It does take getting used to, though, because
well,
you've got to be able to, depending on what kind of work. When I was working, I had to learn to. I'll just go down and put a load of wash in.
right.
I had to pretend that I was really keeping office hours, and
Yeah.
I would also a lot of times go out to eat at lunch just to keep things in perspective.
Yeah.
Even when Sarah was little, I had a housekeeper then, and I'd sneak out to go eat lunch. It was sanity.
Yeah. And I'm such a hermit too that I don't normally, doesn't bother me if I don't go out. But now that I'm not supposed to go out,
You want to go out.
yeah.
Well, and good Lord, look at that line going right under her mouth. I mean, under her nose. It's probably why I'm having so much trouble.
Oh my gosh, Glenpool, this where Linda lives, made it a $750 fine, impossible 60 days in jail for leaving home for non-essentials.
Wow.
And
Well,
tells her hubby that potato chips are not essential. I'm sorry, I have to disagree. Oh, yeah. That's just getting ridiculous. They're letting people out of jail.
The Arkansas governor will not shut down this state.
They finally asked Missouri to stay in, which I think is a good thing, but you still can go out, you know, get your essentials, what you need. But you know, like Linda's town, you know, that they're gonna fine you and throw you in jail, but yet everywhere else they're letting prisoners out because of it. That just irritates the fire out of me.
I started to say a while ago, I shouldn't complain about this burlap because there are a lot of artists who work on coarse grained canvas.
guess it's what you get used to, and you use it, you get good at it. Um, so so how many burlap pages have you done in that thing, Vicki?
Oh, let's see. Oh God, I see some. No, maybe not. It switches to canvas now.
Bye, Linda. She's gonna go for her walk.
Okay, sweetheart, walk for me. Oh, now wait a minute. Were there only two? No. Here's one. Here's one. They're all the way through this damn book. Ooh.
Joy, joy.
Oh well.
Linda says she wants to see how it turns out.
Okay. I'll probably work on it again next week. I just love painting and I miss it when I'm not doing it, but then I miss what the hell? Oh my God, that's some white. I forgot I put in there. Ooh. It was white and I didn't keep it wet. Okay, baby doll, let's see. What else we can do to you. It's beginning to catch hold.
Yeah, it is. Every time I look up, it's like she just completely changes and she's looking better and better and better and getting closer to completion.
Let some of that dry up a little bit. How about a little bit of warm? Now tell them what kind of makeup this girl had on. I sure do like this medium.
How long have you been working with it now?
Oh, 3 or 4 weeks. But you know me. I mean, Randy says I'm like a coon. You know, I want the next bright, shiny thing, even though this isn't really next. You know, it's been around for so long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can understand that description, applying it to myself.
No harm. I could have had a professional career if I had wanted one. But that would have required picking one and sticking with it long enough to perfect it. But I'm very comfortable with just about every medium I've worked with. Get some of this ugly dark covered up.
Bye, sticky art.
Bye-bye, babe. Thanks for coming. I'll be back next Tuesday. I've probably worn this brush out. Well, now you just need a little bit of dark. A little bit of light. Is it just the two of us now?
Jilly is still here.
She's a trooper.
I'm guessing Joycey's still doing her exercises. And we have 7 of us, so
All right. Cool. And now you're getting her chin too long. Let's make sure. Well, not too bad.
okay, I'm liking my little seahorse thing now.
I want to see it.
All right, give me a second. Let me get my fingers unstuck from the glue. Still need something, I think. I think I've got to, well, I think I'm going to put some netting. No, I've got
I
the
can't see
netting.
you still got your screensaver on.
Yeah, I got to unflap the camera and turn it on.
You don't have to.
But, well, you get to see the big nightmare mess. Let me move my trash bin so that my one section of the desk is opened up. See what it looks like on the camera before. Oh, you've already got me. That's all right. We'll start it. Let's see. There's the little.
Ooh, look at that mess.
Yeah, it's an awful mess. I tell you, just got stuff stacked everywhere. I wouldn't know anybody else that has stuff stacked everywhere.
Oh, I don't know either.
But this will go on top of, I think I'm going to make another napkin book out of this kit with this canvas and put this now this way.
For those
then-
of you who don't know, Rosemary Morris does a kit of the month. And everybody kind of works on the same project. Doing really good with it.
Trying to figure out where the stinking thing is to do my zoom in thing. It's called. No. Camera. No, I know I can't do it there. Okay. Where did I figure out how to do this? I think this one.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I think I'm actually liking this one. Rosemary, with this technique, she did the mermaid tail, and I decided I wanted to do the seahorse. But I'm trying to figure out why is this not opening so I can zoom. I still haven't figured out. Okay, here we go. Camera. No, I don't want presets. Camera. Uh-oh, the dog barked and somebody just rang the doorbell. It's probably a delivery.
Damn it. Right here.
Yeah. The old camera, I got this camera that was like yours or one step down from it.
I've got the 922.
I got the 920, and the old one that I had, I could open up the tools to zoom in and oh wait, maybe this is it. No.
I had to get an app. Well, it's not really an app. I had to go into their company thing to get it, to get access to that
Put that on a
Zoom. It's called Camera Settings. And if you go to their website, you can find it.
whose website? Zoom's? Or I mean Logitech?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get. There we go.
Oh, cool. I like that.
So far, I think what I'm going to do is take and put. Now on YouTube, it's not focusing, but on StreamYard it is. Now that's interesting.
Huh.
Huh.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah. It's like, well, what the hell? Thanks, Geo. Even though you can't see it worth a flip. But I'm gonna take and get some. I've got some of those little tiny glass bottles with the cork, and I think I'm gonna try and hang one or two from the net at the top. So
Oh, that'll be cute.
it's been fun playing, and I'm just about poke me with a fork. I'm done with it.
How long have you been working on it?
It's about think about 8.
Lordy.
Hey. Yeah, well, off and on. I mean, I've done some laundry and I've talked to the mailman and
See, if I was keep painting right now, I would have to switch to a completely different project.
I do not get what in the world is up with that. Why in the world would it not focus on YouTube, Vicki?
I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I love StreamYard though.
Well, and looking at, I got to figure out how to deal with this camera. Anyway, okay, I'm shutting it down.
Okay.
And I'll go back to my little old picture.
Okay, I'll put you back on.
There you go.
Look at those eyes. They're not the same.
She looks like a gal I know in the eyes and the cheeks.
Her eyes on the picture are looking the other way. I pretty much got them centered.
Yeah, you have, and you didn't have that when you first started messing with her. Gio, are you doing the funky fish too?
She looks jaundiced.
I don't see the yellow for a jaundice color with her.
And the whites of her eyes.
Oh, okay. I was going to say her skin doesn't look that, but yeah, I see the yellowy color now with her eye. Put her under the UV light. Well, good, Gio. I'll be looking forward to seeing yours on the website. I think I need to tone this one down. I don't know. I may spray the whole thing with some mist color to tone down the leaf ribbon and the, I don't know. It's going to have to sit for a day or two because I'm tired of looking at it. Other than to take a picture and put it over on Caboodle site.
Right here. See if I can fix this eye.
Oh, Gio, you don't have Facebook. Well, are you on Instagram? Well, I guess we won't get to see yours. What color blue is that, Vicki? That's just
Base of it is cobalt.
boy, that's making really gorgeous eye color for her.
I know. That's what. Trying to get that iris moved.
I can get that, Gio. No social apps. Every now and then I just completely disconnect from Facebook and don't do any of them, and then I'll pick them back up. I keep track of my daughter mainly with them, and family, but
I use Facebook pretty much only for the groups that I'm in for classes and stuff. That's better. Better. I just don't like all the crap over there.
it gets old. I missed gluing down one spot. Where'd I put my glue? Oh, I missed Gilly. She was going to take a nature break and was saying bye.
She's not a real good. I'm joking. I said, you're not a real good.
I know it. That's because I'm working on something.
I know.
Last time I was
It's hard.
paying attention very good.
It's
That's why I
very
think
difficult.
I'd be a big fail probably. Have to do like a Hottie and Popo or Hottie and Johnny and Popo show where they got 2 or 3 of them on there watching things.
Yeah, everybody was into that a couple of months ago, but it got to the point it was so distracting.
Yeah.
That, I mean, you couldn't really tell what anybody was doing. And
yeah, but those kind of things are more just social yak. They're not really for making real good strides on what you're working on.
Better. Getting better all the time.
About ready to get something to eat.
Yeah, I'm about ready to quit.
Gio, do you have a channel that you stream on or you just watch? I watch so many different stupid things that are just, time passers, but I watch the people with the training the parrots and the birds, and then I'll watch the King of Random and what they're doing, and then I'll watch people making stuff, and I'll say, oh, I need to do that. Yeah, I need to.
I spend too much time on Twitter.
I don't do Twitter a lot.
You can control the people that are on there a little better, because Facebook are people that are friends and family, so it's not so easy to block them.
Yeah.
But the minute I get down into the weeds on Twitter, I usually don't go down into everybody's comments and opinions because I don't give a shit. But I do like the written articles that are available.
Okay, I have an update.
You have a what?
An update. I've been calling her Gio, and it's Giovanna. Instead of
Gio.
I think that's probably where I picked it up. Was from you, but so Giovanna, that's gorgeous.
But see, I'm so old I get away with it.
You're not that much older than me, are you?
I'm 70.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Oh. Talk about how to make me feel good. Oh, never mind. You are older than me.
I couldn't resist. I'm going to be 60 in a couple of weeks, so I'm not too far behind you.
I'm almost old enough to be your mama.
Yeah, you'd have had to. Well, you are from Arkansas. Oh.
I'm not from Madison County, though. That's where that takes place. Okay, the eyes are much better. This one's still looking at me, though.
I have a fur baby that's wanting to go outside. But she's happy to get up on my lap for the moment.
Might have been remarkably quiet this afternoon. Okay. It's close. You gotta get that.
Name.
Yeah, let's move that over here. Better. Better, better. Oops. Better. Yeah, that's better. I'm about to a point where I can leave this for the night.
Yeah, I gotta go get something to eat, and the pup wants to go out and take a potty break. So,
Have you got a fence?
a what?
A fence?
No,
That's no fun.
no, but I would watch her close anyway, because if she found squirrel poop or something, she'd be rolling in it. So she needs supervision.
Yeah. Well, our little one, Randy, really has to watch when he takes him out at night because he's just 7 pounds.
Oh, he's tiny.
Tiny. Almost, well, he's 2 years old.
Wow, that's really tiny for a schnauzer.
I know. And he is precious. Precious baby.
Well, this one never fails to entertain, I'll say that.
He is so cute. And he's brown and white, which we never thought we would want a brown and white one.
I had never seen one before you guys posted those pictures.
I know. He's just like a stuffed animal. But he's still real skittish around me, so I think somebody wasn't real nice to him.
Yeah,
Female.
yeah.
He'll let me touch him with one hand, but he's not real crazy about it. But if I get a second hand up, he's out there.
Yeah, that tells you a lot.
But at night, when we're in the bed, he is right up next to me. Kind of like, I don't trust you in the daytime, but boy, you sure are cushy at night. Well, the poor little thing had been right. I mean, he'd probably been in a crate his
Yeah.
whole life. And first night over here, no crate. He was like, whoa,
I don't know what to do.
yeah, you mean I get to sleep in the bed with people? Woo, I just keep motoring on, and she's beginning to. I'll work on that blue eye tomorrow, or the next time I work on her. I'm happy.
You've got a lot done on her today.
Yeah, you just have to. There is no shortcut when you paint like me. And especially working on something like this burlap. Well, she's coming along. Coming along, coming along. Now this will dry and it'll be dark again. I'll just keep layering it.
So when you say it'll dry, it dries quite a bit darker.
Yeah. And the fact that I'm got dark underneath it and I'm putting light on top.
Oh, okay.
Now, if I came in and just did an impasto like that, it wouldn't. But that's against my nature. I can't do that. So the thicker the paint is, the the less it does that.
But the one that you put the plaster all around her face,
Yeah.
she is, I mean, she is luminescent. I mean, it looks like,
This one? Yeah,
yeah,
this one's kind of a train wreck.
yeah, no, that one. I mean, her skin is just like translucent, and you can, it just, you've really done a good job with her.
Well, thanks.
I didn't, the first time you smeared that stuff around her, I'm like, what in the world is she doing? But I like it now.
Yeah, it's different. But that's what the frescoes look like when they start peeling off all the centuries of dirt and grime and plaster, and sometimes the paint's completely gone.
Well, she's beautiful.
Thanks. Thanks.
You're welcome.
This was an experiment doing it on wet, but it was too chunky. So, but anyway, that's what this book is for.
But that one is still kind of cool too. It reminds me of some old style, something that, you know, that was found and not taken care of as far as the distressing on it.
Yeah.
And, she's got a cool vibe to her.
And she's got bigger eyes than normal because she's of that time period where they painted them that way to keep the spirits away.
That's interesting.
Kind of cool. I like her. Okie dokie. I'm tired. I think I'm going to quit.
Well, thanks for inviting me in.
Oh, you're welcome. It's nice. Because it's hard to talk and paint at the same time.
Even though I kind of am slow on the uptake on what I'm supposed to be doing. I'll try.
Okay, I'm going to take a picture. Joycey, I'm glad you could come in. Proud of you for exercising. If I don't start walking, I'm going to lose the ability because I can't walk to the mailbox down the street without having to stop. But I've never walked. Never been active.
Me neither.
Huh?
I haven't either. I'm not. Yeah.
It's a real hard thing to make me do.
Yeah. Same here.
Oh, she's looking kind of cute in that picture.
She is.
She is getting kind of a luminous skin too. That's cool.
Mhm.
Fine tune her the next session.
Yeah.
Okay, dokie. Thank everybody for coming in. Lynn, thanks for keeping me company.
You're welcome.
And I will be back on Tuesday, if not before. You never know.
Well, if you get bored
When I take a while here.
holler.
Huh?
I say if you get bored tomorrow, holler.
Okay, I will. Bye.
Bye.